I'm inviting you to let go of the things that you were rushing to do before you got here. Let go of that to-do list from today with how much you've done or not done. Let go of wondering what it is that you're going to get out of today. Is this going to be worthy of your time? Let go of all expectations and all of the to-dos. And we're going to shift our awareness today from this ordinary awareness that we're generally in into what I call extraordinary awareness. And extraordinary awareness is the kind of awareness that catalyzes and fertilizes and ignites all of our deeper potentials. That self-actualization that I mentioned yesterday, that yearning that's deep in your heart and soul for something more out of life. Because we're stepping into this transformational journey. We're here to experience things at a deeper level, to be activated, to be awakened. And so we want to move into a place of power, of receptivity, and that starts with bringing our attention into ourselves. So bring your attention into the breath, and as you take the next breath in, breathe down and bring the breath down through the mind as if it's bathing, washing the mind, down into the heart as if it's gathering up this energy of the heart, of compassion, of empathy, bringing it down into the core of your body for stability, for being able to ingest and digest things. And as you exhale, shoot it down the legs and get rid of anything that you feel like you need to release, down through the thighs, the calves, the shins, into the feet, out through the soles of the feet, down into the center of Mother Earth, where it can be composted, nourished, nurtured, fertilized, and returned back to you. And then take one more deep breath in as you breathe in through the center of your being, feeling yourself becoming more present to yourself, to you, this body temple of you that we're going to be focusing on today. Feeling yourself, filling yourself up with life energy all the way to the edges of your skin, and then exhale and send it out all around you, 360 degrees to the edges of the room, connecting with life, with this power that's greater than us, with this universal essence that is always supporting our good. And then let's take one more deep breath in. And as we've connected fully with ourselves and we connected with life itself, with this deep breath in, allow it to bathe down, connect in mind, heart, and gut, and then exhale and send it out to each other. Send it out to me. Send it out to all those who support your greatness in this world. Feeling yourself fully connected, fully embraced, fully supported. And from there, take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, say yes, thank you, and so it is, and so it shall be. And gently open your eyes, come back. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see those of you who are here today and those of you who are on the recording. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And whether you're doing it live or by recording, today's going to be very exciting. And I'm actually very excited to see what comes out of this, because when you do a generative conversation, it's not something that I've planned. And so it really is the presence of the universe flowing through each of you that's going to generate the new insights, new options, and some new actions for you to take. So with that, we are going to get started with a little bit of presentation just to set the tone of today, and also for people who were not here yesterday so that they could get a little recap. And then I'm going to stop the screen share and we're going to have our conversation, and I'll come back to the screen share at the end because I want to be able to see you and I want to be able to interact with you today. And when I have the presentation up there, I can't see anybody. It's crazy. So we're going to do a hybrid today. And so if you give me a minute, I will share my screen. I want to make sure I have everybody here. Okay, so can everybody see the day one? Wait a minute. That is not the day that we want to have. So I'm going to switch that out. And can everybody see day two? That's where we want to be. So very good. So today is day two of a 5-day Kickstart Your Health, Happiness, and True Success and create that future that you love. So imagine once again, this vision that I painted yesterday. This is the vision of what I'm doing for my life. So this is kind of my life's purpose, but it's also that the vision that I see from my work and for women in this world. Women as a force that can help to lead this world into a place that's more peaceful and compassionate. So imagine this world where we women are pouring from our internal cups and it's overflowing. It's overflowing with self-care and self-love and self-trust. And we feel healthy, we feel happy. And yes, we're out there in our own unique way. We are all making our true impact in this world. We are doing what fulfills and resonates with our heart and soul, what I call true success. So just a reminder, as we're embarking on this bigger vision, that this week we're just setting the tone so that we understand what the pathway is, and you're starting to take steps towards this pathway that's going to put you into alignment. And when you're into alignment and we have our health as the foundation of that alignment, then that's where we have the stepping stones that can lead to us being able to live our dreams that will generate the happiness that we're seeking. And then when we have that happiness, we can step into what is our unique gift and our unique impact in this world, whether that's in your family or whether it's for some money-making purpose. It's whatever that impact is that resonates with you, and that will ultimately lead us to true success, but also true wealth, right? The true sense of abundance. So our intention this week as we're doing this is we're building the triple A's, as I say. Awareness. So we talked about extraordinary awareness, understanding where we are, and understanding those things that sabotage us, right? We're taking action. We're taking simple actions so that we can go from just retaining a basic 10% to retaining close to 80% of what you're being fed this week. This is about feeding your body, your mind, your soul. And when you take those actions, then you can actually start to release some of those saboteurs. And the last piece is actually kickstarting this pathway that we're embarking on, right? And that's how we get there. So each day this week, just as a reminder, we're going to focus on one step of my pathway. I call this my feminine power framework. I also call it my Soul Sync success methodology. But it is a 4-step pathway. And then I add in a 5th step for this week on redefining success, right? So yesterday we focused on listening to the soul. Today we're doing healing of the body. Then tomorrow is a huge day. We're going to do redefining success. This to me is the crux of everything because it really gets at the core of the beliefs of what is sabotaging our alignment and what is sabotaging our health and vitality. And so I'm going to share that with you and a remedy for that. So I will be inviting you. For those who are interested in going a little further, I'm going to share with you an opportunity that I have to do that. And it is kind of a brand new approach, something that I've been working on all year. But it really, 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 really is. It was profound before, and it's really going to get to those saboteurs that are underlining and undermining your health, happiness, and your true success. And then Thursday, we'll do harmonizing the mind, and Friday, we will tie it all together with a nice ribbon, with leading from within. And that's kind of like the secret sauce, what we're going to do on Friday. Every day we are announcing prizes. At the end of today, we're going to announce prize. And at the end of Friday, we're going to announce the grand prize. So you want to be there for that. So quick recap. And again, this is for all of us because repetition is how we help to integrate things. And we can learn things with knowledge, but knowledge doesn't really get you transformation. It's integration that gets you transformation. It's discovery that gets you transformation. And transformation is what leads to permanent, sustainable results. So a lot of people ask me, can I get permanent, sustainable results in my health? Yes, you can. If you address things on this multi-level approach that we'll be sharing, yes, you can get sustainable, irreversible results. So just to quickly recap yesterday, I'm going to let you guys help with this actually. So we talked about aligning to your soul as the step on the pathway, and we talked about the 7 key areas of alignment. And then we talked about one of the saboteurs for the 7 key areas, all 7 of those areas, is what I call the stress to success cycle. And we talked about some benefits that come from bringing ourselves into alignment. We rated ourselves, and then we had some actions. So I'd love to hear from some of you. In fact, I'd love everybody to put something in the chat that you got out of yesterday's session. So if you weren't here and you did not get a chance to listen to the replay, then of course you are excused. But for everybody else, and Sue, are you raising your hand there?
No, not on purpose. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, no problem. So yeah, so I'd love to see, here's something that you got out of yesterday. What were the areas of alignment that maybe resonated with you? Like as part of your homework, it was to identify an area that you wanted to focus on. You could put that as a key takeaway. What was this stress to success cycle? Did it mean anything to you? Do you feel like you've been on that cycle? That's something else that you could put in the chat. Yeah. Let's see, stress to success cycle, eating, health, clarity on what I need to focus more. Health resonated with me the most, but also money and purpose. Yep, beautiful. And yeah, usually it is more than just one area that resonated with it. Yeah. I loved your example of clearing your desk prior to the event. Yes, we talked about our home is one of those 7 key areas of alignment and the energy of our home, right? So we want to create energy that's going to be facilitated in the direction that we're moving our life in. This year, I've spent Googles and Googles and Googles of money on my home. We got a whole new exterior on the home. And when you step in, it does make the energy feel more like a sanctuary, right? Not just a home, it's a sanctuary. Eating better, I love that. Moving more, yep, exactly. Let's see, a serious one, health or career. And fun, yes, life and joy. That's the thing I always ignore. I always go so serious. Yes. How many of us forget about adding fun, recreation, the simple things in our life? Children bring that out in us. But if we don't have little children around us that are just silly and crazy, yeah, sometimes we get so caught up in our work, especially the more successful we get and the more on purpose we get. We sometimes just forget. So my dogs are great reminders for me to be silly, silly, silly. I love that. And coloring for days. Yes, Jennifer, I love that for you. Created your home sanctuary, added more fun in my life. Good. These are beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for these takeaways and areas. Teens put it back in. Yes, they definitely add a level of excitement and adventure. Had some fun there. Yeah, yeah. So these are beautiful takeaways. I'm glad you guys got so much out of it. So we're going to continue to move on. So day 2, heal your body and raise your hand if you've been feeling this way, if you've been feeling kind of anxious or stressed. Yes, almost everybody's hands going up these days. Your body feels out of balance. Yeah. And yesterday we showed like a lot of different things that mean your body's out of balance. Sometimes, things happen in our body and we think it's the new normal. I mentioned yesterday that 3 people this week had just mentioned that to me. Well, this is kind of the new normal that I feel this way. Right. And when I went to that doctor with hypertension and I asked her how long I needed to stay on the medication, and she was like, oh, you'll probably be on there for the rest of your life. That was a new normal that I refused to accept. I was like, oh, no, that is not it. So, yeah, so we've all probably got some kind of little health challenges, things that are coming up, signs in our body that may have been going on for decades and decades. And how many of you have tried many things, but you haven't yet found that one thing that really seems to work, right? Sometimes it works a little bit, one thing works or another thing works, and we lose some weight and then it comes right back, or we can't lose the weight and we're wondering what's wrong with us, or we try to lose weight and then we want to eat more. It's like a psychological thing, right? So we've got a lot of that going on. So the core concept of today is our health is our foundation. And it's just like Maslow's pyramid, that the base on his pyramid, it's like food and shelter and survival things. And our health is really like our survival base. And it's the key on which, when you have your health and you have your vitality and you're feeling youthful and you're feeling ageless, then you can do all of those things that you would love to do that bring you happiness. You can live those dreams, right? And those dreams can include all the fun things that you guys mentioned, but also the things that help us feel fulfilled and like we're truly making an impact. So this is where we're going to kind of shift. And I'm going to stop talking in a minute, and I'm going to just allow you guys to start talking, and I will guide the process. So one of the things that I just want to say before we get to that is, when you think about health as a foundation, and I'm going to ask you this question so you can start to think about it, is, do you really believe that health is your foundation? Right? And as you're thinking about that, you can ponder, when you don't feel well, what does work mean to you? Or when you kind of try to go on a vacation and you catch a cold, what does that do to your vacation? And when you retire, and they say 30% of people after they retire have a heart attack within like 5 years. What does that do to your life as you're trying to build your dreams, right? Those are the stop signs of an aligned life. So right now we're going to start to shift. I'm going to take off the screen share in just a minute, and we're going to start the first of a three-part discussion. So I just want to lay this out that today we're going to do this group generative conversation. It is a conversation between me, you, and I'll be asking some questions. You guys will answer. We'll build on each other's answers. We'll have some fun as we see what insights we can kind of pull out of there that work for you. Not everything is going to work for everybody, but you're looking to see what is this that I'm hearing that can actually help me with some new actions. And then part two is a deeper level training. So this whole area of health and vitality, this is my expertise. This is what I have been living for 63 years. I remember at age 3, I had a doctor's kit. I was the doctor to everybody. And so we're going to do a training on the March 4th, and it's going to be the untold secrets of ageless health and vitality. And that's where I'm going to share with you some of my expertise as to what I think is causing all of these things that are going on in our body that we just attribute to aging. We just say we're getting old. I'm 63. Oh, yeah, my blood pressure is going to go up. I'm 70. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have some aches and pains and inflammation. I'm 80. Oh, yeah, I need to go to the doctor every month, right? And then part 3 is what I'm going to share with you tomorrow. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what part 3 is tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And our goal, as I said, is to generate some new insights, new options, and new actions. And that's the green light of the aligned light. So I'm going to come off a share now. And I want to first hear from you guys. And you can put answers in the chat, and then we'll call on a couple of people to actually speak, and we'll see how this goes. Since we have a good group tonight, if everybody speaks, I think we might be here for another couple of hours. So my facilitators are going to help me facilitate this. So I would love to hear from you. Do you really believe, how many of you actually believe that your health is your foundation?
I do.
Yeah, yeah. Raise your hand if you believe that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And in what ways do you put that into action in your life? Anything going into the chat?
Nothing yet.
What I eat? Yes. Eating, sleeping? Yes. Oh, did not until the last kickstart last year. Yes, yes. Wow, amazing. Never used to exercise. Now you're doing more exercising. Yep, yep, yep. And what's the basis of this belief that health is your foundation? Where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
Doctors, yeah. Yeah, and I'm going to ask you something about doctors. Tell me a little bit more than that, Jody. Can you come off mute and just share a little bit about how you feel that doctors help you believe that health is your foundation?
Well, you have regular checkups and they talk to you about what areas you need, what's going on with you in the different areas.
Yeah, and it's who we've been, brought up, raised to go to for health, right? Right. So societal thing there. And what else has come up as what's the basis of your believing that health is your foundation?
A few others have said that if you don't have good health, it affects every area of your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And have you had some experience with that? Some of you who mentioned that Like how when something's happened, it has actually impacted your life? You can't do anything if you're sick.
Well, I used to have migraines. I mean, I still have them sometimes, but years ago I had them like every day and I couldn't function.
Yeah. Yeah, migraines, you can't function. Very difficult. Anybody else? And there's no right or wrong answers here. And the more ideas you throw out, the more ideas it creates and generates for others. Bad asthma, yes, that would definitely be one. Like if you can't breathe. And force, oh, Paula. Yeah, you want to talk about that a little bit about this concept of forcing yourself to lose the weight and to exercise and
Sure. For me, I didn't start doing anything, and I'm 63 years old until last year's Kickstart. And it was always like, okay, I got to go on this diet. I got to go on this exercise. I got to do this. I got to do this 15. Like everything was like force myself. And then last year at this time, I just connected to, oh my, I'm like worth some of my time. Like I'm worth some of my time, not just everybody else, but like I can see myself as I see other people, and it's like, oh. And then things like I just started wanting to feel a little more energetic, feel a little better, sleep a little better, right? And it just started like now I have a long ways of things that I aspire for peace, but like much more better, much more better.
wow, wow. And thank you for sharing that. And how profound that for all of these years until you're 63, that something's been operating behind you, making you feel like you're not worthy of your time, right? That everybody else was worthy of your time, but not yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the impact of that on all these other areas that you mentioned, the exercise, the sleep. Wow. Anybody else run into that feeling of, maybe I haven't been treating myself like I'm worthy of what I give to other people? Yeah, yeah, I see some pondering there. Yeah. So, wow, very, very good. And who else would like to share?
I
So
can
this,
share.
Sue, okay.
For my whole working life, my job always trumped health and exercise and good eating and cooking and doing good things for myself. Because if you were at your job and working, that came first. That's just the culture in my family, and that's what I did. Didn't pay off
Yeah.
very well.
Oh, I heard a second comment there.
I just said it didn't really pay off because I got really ill with asthma and some other things. And now that I'm much more balanced, not all the way yet, but much more, I feel like I have time for myself now and I don't feel guilty about it.
Yeah, yeah. And what I'm hearing there is that even though you felt like this concept of health is your foundation, like you believe in all of that, for most of your life, based on the culture, the family situation that you were raised in, you weren't actually acting in a way that was consistent with health being your foundation, right?
Right. At
Yeah.
all. Yeah.
Oh. And did you even realize that? Or was it just something that was just the status quo, just the normal way of doing as you're striving up the corporate ladder?
Yeah, it just wasn't a priority. I mean, the first priority was your work always. And I made that happen myself. I mean, yeah, it was partly my family, but I can't blame them because they all didn't end up that way. But I became a workaholic and became very unbalanced. And then it affects every area in your life when your balance is off.
Yeah, it does, right? You become a workaholic. All
Yeah.
those 7 areas that we spoke about yesterday become out of alignment, right? Our balance is off in all of those areas, right?
Yeah.
So on one hand, we say we believe in this premise of, yes, our health is our foundation. It sounds good, we all believe it. But the way that most of us, and I'm not exempt from this was me up until that scare that I mentioned at age 42. I was doing the same thing. The culture was to achieve. And I mentioned yesterday, the culture was to do more than my parents had been given the opportunity to do, because now I had opportunities that they did not have. And so, although if you asked me, I would have said, yes, health is my foundation, I did not act in a way that was consistent with that belief. I mean, so we have our beliefs, some beliefs on the surface level, and then we have our actions. And then Paula highlighted that there's often a deeper belief underlining it that is undermining that. Right? Yeah. So you mentioned that there are ways, though, that you act that are consistent with this belief, like you're exercising and eating well, and you're starting to focus on your own worthiness and prioritizing yourself. But in what ways do you find, even now that you're all at a higher level of awareness, that's why you're here, you're trying to learn, what ways do you not act consistent with that concept that you believe in, that health is your foundation? And some of you have already started to mention it with the career and the prioritizing other ways. But look at your life, even like most recently, like today or this week. Like, in what ways have you found that you've acted that's not been consistent with that? Staying up too late.
Oh,
That's a good one. How many of us have that as a little challenge? Staying up too late, raise your hand. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And not eating enough. So Jennifer, talk about that a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Okay. I feel like lately I just have been like not eating breakfast, and then I won't eat lunch, and then I'll maybe eat a snack and then just go to bed instead of eating a balanced diet.
Yeah, so eating in a way that's not balanced. And what is it that makes you not eat enough? Because on the other hand, it's people who eat too much. So what is it that makes you skip meals or forget meals? Tell us a little
I
bit
think
about.
it's like a lot has to do with like stress
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
like the stress from work, the stress from school, like just being able to like be the best person I can be, and I feel like that stresses me out.
Yeah, yeah. And then when you're stressed, is it that you don't feel like preparing food, or you don't have the food in the house, or
I just don't feel hungry and I don't want to cook. I don't want to, I just, food, like, honestly, just like grosses me out to a
Mhm.
point sometimes.
Yeah, and it definitely can do that. And there's both physiological and emotional reasons why people lose their appetite when they're under a lot of stress. Right?
Hmm.
Like it's shutting down the function of your digestive system, sending the energy out to manage that stress response. And yes, it can make you not eat as much, or it can make you eat inconsistently, or it can make you eat. And I see Sue raising her hands. Yeah, it can make us overeat. So how many people have experienced that connection with stress? First, like how many people experience with stress and under eating or not being consistent? Like sometimes you just forget to eat or it's once a day or you're just nibbling on things. Yeah, I see quite a few hands that have gone up for that. And what about the overeating? Yeah, I see some hands, some hands, some hands, some hands. Yeah, so with both of those. And what about just poor eating? So maybe it's not quantity, but it's the choices that you're making, right? I mean, oh, we got lots on the choices that we're making. Yeah, and tell me about that. What do you find that you're reaching for when you're making these choices? Cookies. Yes. And I did find a healthy cookie recipe that I'll be sharing with all of us. Lowest priority is to get me something healthy. Yeah, the lowest priority is to find something healthy, right? What's the priority there, Paula? Is it speed? You wrote it in there. It's speed, right? So you can keep working.
Right. And then I always feel like I'm behind myself. Like I didn't plan. I didn't get the fridge thing that I need to cook. Like I'm never planned out enough.
Yes, and the lack of planning, right?
Right. And then it's like, all right, well, just grab this, whatever.
Yeah, so if we don't plan, then we don't have something already prepared, ready to go that's meeting our standards of health is my foundation. And then we're just meeting the need of, oh, I just need to satisfy myself so I can keep on working, keep on doing what I'm doing. So an act that's inconsistent with our belief of the thing that we would like to believe that yes, we are prioritizing our health and making it our foundation. Finding something healthy sometimes feels impossible. Ooh, tell me more about that, Sonia.
So I've got 3 kids and we are running to and fro. And last year, for example, we had baseball season and I was the mom that packed a cooler every week because we were going 2 nights a week. And if you don't have something with you and then you try to go into like a gas station to grab something for everybody, there's nothing there that feels healthy. So then it feels like it's an impossible task. And then the kids are asking, oh, can I have this? And I'm like, whatever, just fine, because you're just at that wall. Like there's this invisible wall, and suddenly you just feel so overwhelmed and you can't make a healthy decision because there isn't one suddenly.
Yeah, I love that visual of this invisible wall. How many of you have felt that, like an invisible wall? Like, I can't do this, I can't climb over, I can't go through it, there's nothing there. Yeah, sometimes it does feel impossible. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So we've kind of explored this concept of health is our foundation. Do we believe it? Yes, we all say that we do believe that. It's important to us. That's kind of why we're here. We want more of that. And we are all doing things that are where we're acting consistent with that belief. And we all have some good practices with food and like our sleep and exercise. We're all doing those types of things. But yeah, there's some struggles there. There are some ways that show up that are inconsistent with that. And if we're exploring it a little bit more, because remember, we're building like extraordinary awareness of what is. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's just what is. About what percent of your time would you say you feel like you're struggling with taking the right actions towards your health? Or you're on target? Let's see some, you can kind of put it in the chat, like what percent kind of come up, 50%, 40%. Yeah, so 40% struggling, 60% on target, 90% struggling, 50% at least. Yeah, 40% struggling. Yeah, so some significant numbers. Yeah, 60% struggling, 60% struggling. And I will tell you, it never goes away, right? even when you get to a point where you feel like you have sustainable practices and your health challenges are going to be irreversible because you've got all the structures and this mindset and all the pieces to put in place, it doesn't go away. Some days you will always feel a little bit off than other days. But the issue, just like I said yesterday with the concept of alignment, is how quickly can you get back on course? And how infrequently can you really fall off course, right? So you have longer stretches of time where the norm is you truly are acting in a way that's consistent with health as your foundation. And if you fall off, you go on vacation, you have a stressful period, you have an argument, you have some life event that happens, and you fall off, you can get back on really easy, right? That's a goal. That's a realistic goal for sustainability. So beautiful. Thanks for sharing that about the times. Wanda, 70%. Sometimes feels like 110%. Health on target, 110%. Oh, no, 110% off target. Okay. I was going to say, wow, I love that. I love that too. So now the question is, what stops you, right? So we kind of got some insight of where we kind of seem to be, and there's lots of commonalities in there. And you've mentioned stress, mentioned, we have families and kids and demands on us. Low energy to make the effort to cook. Yeah, we've zapped our energy. Yeah. So there's solutions for those who don't cook. There are. Yeah. What else? I'd love to hear from the rest of you. What stops you? You can put some in the chat. And I love this discussion that we're having. You guys are great. You're being open, you're being receptive. Yeah, food's the reward, combats the fatigue. So we've got kind of the fatigue, the energy, again, feeling unmotivated, for sure. Food, yeah, food, perking yourself up. Again, it's kind of tying to the energy. You try to find, family decides they don't want it. That is a big one, right? When we have a family unit, we're not just cooking for ourselves, we are actually cooking for family. And how can we do it in a way that works? Where there's food for me and there's food for the family. Yeah, it's hard to feel like the lone wolf. How many of you feel like a lone wolf on your health journey? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the planning dinner every night, yes, that definitely would do it every day. Yes. The batch cooking is the way to go. Like, to prepare for this challenge, I cooked, and then actually my mom helped, but we made enough food to have for this whole week. So I don't have to cook at all. And the good thing is we did it very quickly because, I have lots of recipes that you guys will get access to that are all designed to be quick and simple, as well as nutritious and delicious. And that makes a big difference, right? If you can make something in 30 minutes or 15 minutes of chop, 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 and you put it all in a pot, and then you cook and you have something nourishing and nurturing. And Wanda, beautiful, keeping a bowl of fresh berries and salad as standbys, right? So something sweet, something crunchy, something savory, yeah, it's good to have foods that are kind of in the different taste palettes. And we'll be talking a little bit more about this on the meeting on the 4th. Where I start to go into like, what are some of the things that you can actually do? So I love that. I love that. So all of these things are things that like really kind of get in the way, that stop you. And what are some of the actions or structures that you've tried to put in place to overcome these barriers? Barriers to the planning, mixed messages about eating healthy. That's really a good one. That is a true barrier, right? Especially on the online and the internet, and everybody's out there trying to sell health, and it feels like just a sale, 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 sale. Right. Meal planning is something as a structure that you put it in, rotating same meals, make shopping healthy. Oh, make healthy shopping an event. Tell me about that, Paula.
Well, I think whenever like on a Sunday morning or whatever, and it's like, oh, all right, well, I'm just gonna like take this time and I'm gonna go to the store that actually has some healthy stuff and I'm gonna, get these things and just like set aside, like instead of like the news some more, instead of some other thing, like, all right, today's gonna be my shopping day or my planning for my food day or even like the cooking day. Like we used to do that Sundays growing up, we would have cooking day.
Yes, yeah. So the structure of having some designated days. So you're already creating the expectation that this day is going to be for this purpose. And then what happens when you can't meet that day's activities? Do you have like some structure that's in place, like, okay, I couldn't go Wednesday, I go Thursday, or what happens there for you?
Just complete collapse.
Yeah,
I
that,
mean, I have to be honest. It's like then just like life takes over the cycle, like the cycle goes,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you're just like trying to climb back up out of the hole.
Yeah, you're trying to climb back up out of the hole. Yeah, and that's often what happens. It's like we put the plan out there, but we don't really have a lot that helps to support us when the plan goes awry. And then we just kind of backtrack to what's easiest, right? Right. Wow, yeah, it is very relatable. Thank you, Alana, for saying that. Routine, routine, routine. Yeah, getting some routines in place. So with these things that you guys have been trying to put in place, how have they been working for you? Are they working, or is it still a constant struggle? Yeah, veggies go bad. Yeah, constant struggle, still a struggle, still a struggle, still a struggle. Yeah, yeah, that's what I see every day. So let me ask this question. What could your life look like, feel like, be like, if your actions were consistent with your belief that health is your foundation? What could that open up for you? It's like a vision question. If I could have all my meals that were going to be kind of quick, simple, nutritious, delicious, and I could sleep my 7.5 hours a day, and I could move my body a little bit every day, even if it's just going up and down the stairs, carrying laundry, I could make it be like exercise. What would my life be like if I could make it fun? Can you even go there? Yeah, I found my way back to my favorite me. Wow, I love that, Paula. Tell me a little bit more about that. What's the favorite you? What's the vision of the favorite you?
Um, Time to like stand at the kitchen counter and look out the window. Time to stand there with that little cup of coffee in the morning instead of like, I got to go do this, I got to do that. Um, Time to have baked a little cake, time to have sat and listened to birds.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get like your favorite outfit and you're out the door, you're wearing something that was like just very, not fancy, but pleasing. So you just like, just feel good.
And I
And
see
that's my favorite meat.
smiles.
And it shows up every so often in different places. And I want to be my favorite me more. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, I want to be my favorite me for more. How many people can resonate with that? Yeah. How can... So what are some options? I love that. Let's all hold that vision to be our favorite self. And what are some options that could help get you there? Right? We've all tried some different things. And I want you to just close your eyes for just a moment. And for a moment, I want you to connect in with yourself, but with the part of you that feels most empowered. So the part of you that feels like the favorite self, the part of you that your friends admire, the part of you that shows up to be the most loving parent. When you're feeling your greatest, connect to that part of her. And ask her, what are some other options that you can take? What are some other options so that in your everyday life, you're starting to feel closer to your favorite self? And from this empowered place, just type into the chat, like some words that come to you. There's no right or wrong with this. There's no one answer that's any better than others. Yeah. Let's see. Breezy day, flexibility, less caffeine, more yoga, relax. Yeah. And you can feed off of each other's words, you know, if something that somebody says triggers something in you, you can state that as well. You know, what's an option? What's an option? To feel peaceful. What can help you have more peace? An option that I had this week was taking a bath. I had not taken a bath, I think, in like a year. And up here at my parents' house now, I have taken a shower, but I had not sat in the bathtub. But this week, I was just like, I'm taking baths. And almost every night, I've just put some Epsom salt in there and a little lavender essential oil, and I fill up the tub. And my mother tries to tell me that I'm putting too much water in the tub, but but this is like, it's my nourishment now. And really, it's made a huge difference on this week with everything that I've been doing to pull together this 5-day challenge and stepping into like out of my comfort zone in so many areas. Just that one little thing. So bathing in Epsom salts and essential oils, right? So yeah, and you know, any of these. And so we're gonna start to wrap this up for today. But remember, this is part 1 of 3-part discussion. And I want you all now to come up with one action. This action can come from the empowered self, or it can come from something that somebody else has shared and put in the chat. But one action that kind of inspires you, right? So it's generating a little bit of energy around it. Alana, maybe it's the bath for you. Like you commented, wow, beautiful, Zana, that's coming from your heart. That's like an inspiration. So maybe it's something as simple as that. Yeah. And I want each of you to write it down. You can put it in the chat if you like, but more important is to write it down for yourself. You can write it on the homework for today. I'm going to go over the homework in just a second, our success integration work. I'm sorry, not homework. But you want to have just one thing, Qigong or Tai Chi in the AM or before bed. Yeah, that's a great one. And you know, when you set something like Qigong or Tai Chi, sometimes what can stop you is you're like, oh, I have to do like a 30-minute class. And then you're like, where am I going to get 30 minutes? But no, look on YouTube for the 1-minute versions. They do have 1-minute Qigong exercises that you can do, right? And you just incorporate the little things. Read more books. Being more mindful and present. Yes, Jennifer, I love that. Connecting with yourself more. One way to be more present is that little exercise that I gave you to close your eyes and connect with that empowering version of you. Who is she? Doing that for 1 minute. Pausing to be happy. Yes, standing at the window, looking out at the birds. No, looking out at the snow if you're in snowy Massachusetts. Even the freezing rain, like when I took the dogs out yesterday and we were slip sliding our way because all the sidewalks, all the walkways, everything was frozen with ice. And we were trying to walk on the crunchy snow. And even the crunchy snow was like a sheet of ice in many places. But I looked at one point and I was like, this is beautiful, like the icicles that were on the tree. And I was like, it's really beautiful. You can find beauty in everything. And it did make me pause to be happy. So does everybody have one action? And then the final thing is, what structure can you put in place to support you with this? Okay. Writing it down was one structure. And I'll actually share you, since I want to bring this to kind of a close. Putting that into the Facebook group or on LinkedIn as part of your homework is another structure. Like when you write something out and you put it out into the public space, it definitely helps bring it the energy for compliance, right? Timer on your phone as a reminder. Yeah. Yeah, all of those. Beautiful, beautiful. So this was amazing just to see what's come out of like 20, 30 minutes of a conversation, a generative conversation among you. And you can see that there's common challenges, that this is kind of normal, like the challenges, the stress that you've been feeling, trying to be on the path of health and vitality. It's not unique, right? You're not the only person. You're not alone. Many of us often feel alone. So I'm going to just go back and share the PowerPoint for just a minute, and we're going to bring this to a close. And I don't know how to get back to where I was, but you can see from a solid foundation, I'm going to come back here, that this is where you're going to build the happiness that we're talking about. This is where you're going to build the success. And there's many, many different elements to this solid foundation. And there are 5 areas that I've outlined in your homework for you to kind of look at it a little bit further. And we're going to explore that more in the May 5th. And I'm going to explore it more in the program that I'll share with you for tomorrow. So I went through the success integration homework, picked one of those 5 areas. You don't have to so much focus on that because you guys, we've been talking about it, but picking that inspired action and writing it into the Facebook group or writing it into LinkedIn is a perfect, simple action that's going to help you integrate this and up-level it from just a concept into something that you can actually make effective. These are the 5 areas of health. You do have those on your homework area. So we're going to break down more tomorrow and on Friday, tomorrow and Thursday. You know, why is it so hard to get there? We're going to look at this a little bit more, and I'm going to explain something that nobody has actually said yet. So just to recap, we've been talking about the imbalances that are in our body. So being out of alignment in our body. And we didn't go into the specific conditions, health conditions. I'm going to talk about physiology and chemistry in that March 4th session. But those body imbalances do lead us to life misalignment. And the insights and the options and the actions that you've taken today that let you know that you're not alone in this and that many other people have similar struggles, but there are lots of options and lots of ideas that have just come out of our brief discussion today that you can kind of embrace, explore, put structures around, and step by step by step, baby step by baby step by baby step, start to change not just the lifestyle, but who you're being and your way of knowing of what's right for you. And that's what leads to the irreversible changes, right? So this is where we're going tomorrow. We're going to look at breaking that stress to success cycle. And so remember, for prizes, you need to post on LinkedIn or on the Facebook group by 3 p.m. each day, and then we'll announce the winner. We're about to announce the winner now. Sonia, do you have our winner?
I do indeed. I'm hoping that I can say their last name correctly.
Okay, who is our winner?
So, Mary Rives, does that sound right?
Mary. So I
That's me, but I don't deserve it. I got here an hour late and I thought I was on time. I'm Mary Reed.
Well, you deserve it. You deserve it based on what you did before, which was the criteria, and we are
Thank
glad.
you.
In fact, you actually deserve it more because you came, even knowing you were going to be an hour late. You still showed up live.
Thank
So,
you. Thank you so
thank
much. What did I win?
So today you won. What is the prize for today? Is it the recipes?
Today is the Beat the Bloat Weekend Whole Food Cleanse. Well, because it was yesterday, she won yesterday's challenge. So, yep, yesterday.
Yay, great. Thank you. That's just exactly what I need.
Yeah, ooh, beautiful. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. I go back to that cleanse a lot. And I mentioned, just to let you know, so tomorrow's prize is actually, you get a choice. This is actually award-winning because these are meal plans that I put together. There's a Mediterranean one, there's a ketogenic one, and then there's like a whole food plant-based one. And these recipes have become so popular. Like, I actually sell this package for like $500. But tomorrow's winner can get to choose which of those three you actually want. And there are about 22 different recipes, but there's an actual meal plan that works that you can follow if you want to follow the meal plan. But you don't have to. You can just do the recipe. So that's going to be the prize for tomorrow. So with that, we are going to bring this to a close. I so honor you. Let's come into our closing part of our sister circle here, bringing our right hand on our heart and our left hand on top of the right. Our left is our feminine side. So we are stepping into our feminine power, bringing the left hand on top of that right logical part of ourselves. We're embracing, giving our heart a hug with our hand, telling ourselves, thank you. Thank you for taking this time and for investing this energy to working on you, to working on your body, your energy, your mind, to bring more vitality and empowerment into your life. Thank you. Thank you. And with that, we say good night. I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow. Tomorrow really is exciting, and it will change your life. It changed my life. It really changed my life. So I will look forward to seeing everybody then. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was wonderful
Good night,
discussion.
everyone.
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me many different ways. You can reach out to me online. But you can also schedule a one-to-one session. I did put in the email that I'm offering some complimentary one-to-one sessions this week, just this week. So feel free to reach out if you want to talk about any of this. Okay. So blessings. Have a good night.